Hey friends, happy Monday. Welcome to my live, and if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Chocolatour. Once you hop on tonight's live or you hop on the replay at a later date, please feel free to say hi in the comments and tell me where you are watching from. I am live from Central Kansas this evening. I'm also live in 2 locations, so if you hear me refer to a comment that is not in your feed, that person may be viewing and commenting from a different platform. And as always, if you like this project and you think others should see it, please feel free to spread the craft love all over Facebook and YouTube. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that heart button, tag your crafty friends and invite them to watch along with you. Not only that helps my channel get seen by new friends, but that also helps you. It tells the algorithm that you like this kind of content. Therefore, it will push more content like this into your feeds. So it helps both of us, and I greatly appreciate it. With that, let's go to the comments. I see Miss Bonita is watching. Good evening. There's a crystal. But that might be, I don't know. Jason says he's watching from the other side of the door. He says, happy short work week. Looks like I have a few people I might need to, yep, I have a few people I need to block. See ya. Okie doke. If you saw actually, before we get into the project, let me show you, there are some new Black Friday deals that dropped this morning. So let me go through those really quick. Hopefully you can still hear me. Let me know if you can't. So we have a $10 doorbuster deal. It is the Snowman Chubby Bundle. So you get the cute little snowman wood cutout. And you get the coordinating transfer for $10. And this is while supplies last. The next deal is with any purchase this week or while supplies last, you get a limited edition Black Friday mini squeegee. There's also a laptop sleeve that is free. It's a free gift with purchase of $50 or more. And as you can also see at the bottom of those slides, there is $5 shipping on orders of $50. And then we have all B size transfers are 50% off this week. And that looks like it goes through Sunday, or while supplies last. And then there is a new Peanuts Black Friday bundle that launched this morning. You get 3 transfers for $50, and again, or for $49. Again, there is a $5 flat rate shipping. And then I just want to highlight the Club Couture transfer bundle that is available through Sunday. We'll be working on it again this evening, but you get the exclusive B-size transfer. This month's kit comes with the frame or the window pane pieces, and then you get 3 chalk paste singles, black velvet, bright white, and something borrowed, which was the color of the month. It is $25.99 retail price, and then you can also see the Perks member price and the designer price. That is shipped free monthly to your house. There is a 3-month minimum commitment to sign up, but you can cancel at any time after that. And I do have that linked in the description of the video. So those are just some of the specials. So here is that transfer, and you can see it right there, right above my shoulder is the window pane project. But this is the transfer. So that is what it looks like. So it's basically just kind of the outline of the images, and then you can color it in or leave it as is. I think we left it as is in that picture, so it's just basically black and white. But I don't know if you can, I may have to, let me go ahead and put the overhead on. You'll be able to see it a little better. So I was initially going to watercolor this, but I think I might try some alcohol markers. But I used grayish, and you can barely see it on this wood sign. But I did see another designer used alcohol markers to color in her. She was using some of the Snoopy transfers, which we will probably try next week. So I think we're going to try some alcohol markers and see what happens. If it's a big fail, we'll just go back to watered down chalk paste, and we will call it good. But I do want to put on the top something over this glare. I did have some clear contact paper that's kind of matte finished over it, but it didn't last long when I was painting because then it got yucky gunk all over it. So we'll just cover it up that way. So I have some fairly inexpensive alcohol markers. I have not tried these out. I did get these at Marshall's here in local to me months and months ago. I've had them at work thinking I would color at work. So we're going to give them a try. This one is kind of a pastel. It's 12 pastel and 12 skin tone colors. And then this one is 24 kind of bright colors. So let's give them a whirl and see what happens. So there's not much, and I think these are all dual tip. So these have this set, the bright set has a chisel tip and a fine bullet tip. Benita says she's never used alcohol markers, anxious to see how they work. I've used them on paper. I've never used them on wood. So I'm anxious to see how they work too. Spoiled by Bree Rodriguez. She did one of the Snoopy ones, and it was super cute. Like, she colored in the whole Snoopy doghouse. This set also has a chisel tip and a fine bullet tip. So we just need to decide what color. Might go back on. They're about the same color. Let's use vermilion. Let's maybe get some paper out here. Just going to use the Hobby Lobby receipt. I just want to see. Oh yeah, that's a pretty good orange color. Okay, so this one is number 14. It's a vermilion. So I'm just going to do his nose, and he doesn't have, most of it colored, most of it is already colored in with the detail, or with around the detail, so it's mainly just those 3 dots, but let's see what it does on the chalk paste, and I'm actually going to bring you guys in. Is that going to help if I bring you in a little bit more? I'm also going to put, since this is missing, I'm going to kind of bulk up my base a little bit just so that this thing doesn't knock on the table as much. These are those pedestal signs that you used to be able to get at Hobby Lobby at Christmas. I did take it apart so that I could paint it a little easier. So we'll start with the nose. We'll kind of see how it goes. I didn't even mean to rhyme. I think I might color in his nose a lot more. Might look kind of funny. So far, so good. Let's do his hat next. Oops. It goes over here. And so we'll do his hat part next. And I think I'll do the brim one color. It's actually a lot easier to use markers than it is the watered down chalk paste. You have a little bit more control, I think. So then we'll use a red geranium for part of his hat. I probably should have used a darker color than grayish. I am a little anxious to see. I think we'll go over it with black paste at the end. Just going to bring in my, let's just put this right here. I think there's a spot, there's a couple of spots over here. This will show me where I need to color. And then I think there's a, yeah. I think that's about it on the hat. I think it would definitely be easier with a darker color as your, instead of using grayish. It's a bit too light to see some of the detail. Okay. Let's do a scarf in red again. Kind of give him a matchy-matchy look. I'm just kind of filling in the holes where all those negative spaces. If I miscolor anywhere, when I go back over it, it will be covered up, hopefully. My only concern with this is when I go back over it with black, is it going to pull up the marker? Is the transfer going to pull up the marker? We shall see. So that's what we have so far. There's not a whole lot to color in. Guess we could color in the trees. So we'll use the lighter color first, and then we may go in with some darker color. Let's use the chisel tip. And I know, I'm sure Hobby Lobby has their own brand of alcohol markers, and they're not going to be on sale this week because I think the artists, the Master's Touch stuff was on sale last week, and that's the brand that all the markers are in. But if you're at, I don't know what that is. But if you're at Ross or Marshall's or even maybe Home Goods, check in the little, I found them back where the notepads are. I mean, you could always find some on Amazon too. Just kind of filling in the negative spots. They're kind of hard to see. Should have used a darker color. I don't know if they do the Thanksgiving ads anymore, to be honest. Maybe they will. I don't know. I don't know if they do that one anymore. Does anybody know if Hobby Lobby still does the thing? They used to do a separate Thanksgiving ad, and then they'd run like 2 ads. It was not a fun time to be a cashier at Hobby Lobby, let me tell you. You always had to memorize 2 ads. I don't know. I guess check the Hobby Lobby website on Thursday and see if they run a different ad for Thanksgiving weekend, Black Friday weekend. I don't know how far the trees go. They go the whole way. So I'm just filling in the negatives. I think it'll be a little different in using the Snoopy, the Peanuts transfers, because there's a lot more open area. I don't even know what I'm coloring at this point. Okay, that's his. Okay, so above his hand, to turn it so I can see it. You definitely need the transfer to kind of figure out where you're coloring and what you're coloring. I'm sure I've missed a few spots. I know I've said it before, but use a darker color as your base. Oops. Oh, check that. Okay, that stuck in there. My little topper was stuck. There we go. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of a darker color, just mainly around the edges. I don't know how much blending I can do, but that's the joy of alcohol markers, is they're a lot more, they have a lot more blendability than regular markers do. So let's come back in, see if I can blend some of that in. So you can see a little bit of that. Is that a little better? And I am very much an amateur alcohol marker user. So I'm just going to go around the edges, add a little bit more of a darker color. And then we'll come back in with that lighter color and do the same thing. Jason says the current ad says valid through the 27th, so new ad on Thursday, current through the 27th. Oh yeah, you're right. Good super sleuth in there, dear. So I'm just taking the original color and trying to blend the dark color with the other color, so that line isn't so harsh. I could probably do a little bit darker stuff throughout there, but okay, so now we need to do some of these. Let me bring the transfer in. Some of these lake areas, like this is all kind of river. So we'll bring in a blue color. I'll do a little bit of testing over here to see what color. I don't want to go too dark. Ooh, that's dark. I've also got this color over here. I don't know how different it is from the scarf color. Okay, this one was the scarf color. It's a little darker, so we'll go with this one. Okay, so now we'll do over the river and through the woods. So we'll do this little section right here. I think it's this part right there. I think there's supposed to be some trees down in there, but I can't see them. And I know I'm probably coloring over some things, but when we go over it again in black, it'll be a little easier to see. Gosh, I should not have used grayish. I think all these little bits in here are supposed to be blue in the river. just trying to figure out what's what. Okay, I think this is blue here for the river. Boy, I should have used a different color. I think that's just supposed to be green down there. Hello, Miss Amanda. Jason says it's almost like you used to work there. Yep. Okay, I'm going to add some trees down here. Happy little trees. This is really, I should have used a different color. So we're just filling in some of our negative spots with some color. And then we'll go back over and we'll paste black back in. So I have the very faint image of this transfer. And we're just trying to add in a little color. Yeah, storm would work better. If you have ash, I would use it. But you could use, I think, and black would be the easiest. Just don't use grayish like I did because it's almost impossible to see. And then we're just using alcohol markers instead of watered down chalk paste to add in the color. Okay. And then we'll get our chisel tip out. So, man, it's hard to think backwards. So this, so we're actually only working, okay, okay, so, because there's his hand, so there's his hand. So then this must be all of this spot. Okay, that helps. So this little thing that hangs down right there is that piece. Okay, that's helpful. So all of this is going to be blue. And if you color over any of the gray, or if you, in your case, if you use black, don't worry about it because you can, well, if you use black, it'll be easier not to color over it, but since I can't see it because I used grayish, oops, I'm just going to have to repaste over it. Alcohol markers are blendable. Like, you know, if you try to mix two Crayola markers together, those are water-based and water doesn't blend very well. But alcohol markers are more blendable. So kind of how we did the trees up here. I'm not good at blending. I haven't played with alcohol markers much, but you can really blend the colors a lot better. If you're gonna buy some, like, try for a pack, like, try to go maybe to Marshall's and see if you can. These were like $8 for one of these packs. It's a great way. Or if Hobby Lobby has a smaller set of alcohol markers. And then if you have, like, do you do any rubber stamping, Bonita? Okay, so that was, so this is all, I think, flake down here. Because you can use them with, like, your rubber stamps as well. But you have to use a certain die. I think you have to use There's a certain ink you have to use when you're stamping and then coloring with alcohol markers. I'm probably making it worse. It's not the prettiest right now. I think the trees will be pretty when I'm done. This one goes over here. You have a few stamps you use. Okay, so let's look at our transfer. What's over here? Not much. I might add a little bit of gray shading kind of around the edges. Just to give him some brownness. And he's going to have some shadows where both of his snowballs come together. I need a lighter color. Again, I'm not an alcohol marker expert. But they're good at giving, they blend well. They're good at giving highlights and shadows. That's pretty good. Okay, I think we're going to go over it. Benita says she has a friend that makes her own Christmas cards. That probably is what she uses. Okay, I'm going to pull you back out just a skosh. Okay. Okay. Just something fun if you happen to have them. You could probably even just use acrylic markers like, Sharpie has a set of, not Sharpie markers, but Sharpie has a creative line of markers that you could use. They're in like a red packaging. I've seen them at Walmart. Okay, so let me get my black paste. And we'll see what happens when we paste over alcohol markers. And we'll see what kind of color we added. It may look terrible, who knows? Oh gosh, here goes an avalanche. Okay, so here is our club transfer. You can still get the kit through November 30th, which is Sunday. So I'm just adding a little bit of lint. I don't need to add a lot because there is a lot of silk screen up in this area. So I'm not terribly worried about it sticking. Then I just need to line it up. It's going to be hard to see with all that grayish. Oof, should not have used that color. It is too light. It looks... Oops, not on there at all. can't see a thing. Oh my gosh, this is like impossible. Oh. Oh well, it's going to be light enough that you're not going to be able to tell. Thought I was being smart and not using black, because black is always messy, but the color I used was almost impossible to see. So I highly encourage you to use either Storm, Ash, or Black, because grayish was too light. I'd like to get some sky up there, but I think we'll just do it all black. Okay, so here goes. I'm going to be careful up here because this is all silkscreen up there where the sky is. So if I push too hard, it might buckle or move, and I don't want that. If you don't want to do markers, you can certainly water down the paste. You could even probably use craft acrylic paint in those areas to add color. Just trying something different. Okay, Robin, keep going. I'm going to paste over here. I'm going to lift this part up a little bit so I can get over this little Humpty Dumpty right there where that pedestal sign goes. And then now I'm going to lift this side up so I can stick this side down. Oh, I forgot to color in where the sled was. Okay. Well, that looks totally different. Amanda says, why am I nervous? Probably because you can sense my nervousness. It actually looks pretty good. Now that I've done the black, would probably do Ash or Storm. Especially, that's really dark up there. I think I might actually go in. I'll try to find a transfer that maybe has some stars. Or I could lay the transfer back down after I wash it and maybe splatter some white paint up there. But yeah, it looks totally different with all of that black on there. It's really cool. I probably should have colored in over here, but I don't really know what color to do because I don't really know what that is over there. That's really cool. Jason says, holy cow. Amanda said it's super cute. But yeah, totally adding all that. Let me pull down the one that we just did in black and white, and you can see the difference. So this one was the one we just did in black and white. That was the original. This is the entire Club Couture kit. And I added a little bit of color with the color of the month. And then that's the one with some added color. Totally different. I don't know which one I like better. But as you can see, it would be much easier to color in with a darker color. Don't use grayish. It was way too light. It almost gave me a headache. I'm not a big fan of I need to blend that out some way, but I don't. Let's see, do I have like a really light blue? I have some other alcohol markers, but I don't want to dig everything out. Is that the gray I used? Yeah. I have this little milky white. I don't know what it would do. Just to kind of lighten that up. It also smears the chalk paste a little bit. We'll just leave it the way it is. Let's give it a good dry though, that might help. You could also, if you didn't want to reactivate the paste, you could ink it and then heat set the ink on the wood and then color it in. Oh, can't get the lid off. Go in and color his buttons. I think I didn't use black because I didn't know, well, when I was going to watercolor it, you know, when you add water to all of this, it starts to reactivate the black. So I thought if I used a lighter color, it would be less messy. Red is hard to get off. I missed a bunch of spots because I couldn't see what I was doing. Oh, I have a bunch of white spots. Especially up in his hat. I'm just filling in a little hole, some of the spots I missed. Ugh. Ugh. These lids are hard to get off. There's a bunch of spots I missed in the trees. But we can come in with, if there's some edges, like we missed this edge, you can color in some of these branches with some darker green, give it some dimension, and then we can come back in and blend it. And then where the trees meet the ground, it's going to be a little darker because you're going to have shadows. Oh, I missed a bunch of spots. feel like an artist, although I am not. I'm far from it. Okay, let's come in with our regular green, and then we'll kind of blend in where we added some of that darker color. I'm going to fill in some of the holes that we missed. A bunch of holes up here. I could spend days just coloring this in. Another idea, just a spin-off of this, if you have kiddos or grandkiddos that like to color, get some of those flat canvas panels. Find some of our really cute transfers. Ink on those canvas panels. Heat set them, and then include some markers, and it doesn't have to be alcohol markers. It could be some of the fun little marker sets from Hobby Lobby, and give them some DIY paint kits or marker kits or coloring. They can color their own canvas. So that's another way to use all of your chalk stuff, would be to make some paint coloring kits for your kiddos or grands or neighbors, cousins, nieces, nephews. So I'll come in with some really light green and see what that does. Oh, if we can even see it, I don't know. Definitely interesting. Okay, I think I'm done playing. Benita says she thinks it's amazing. Let's see, I missed a few. What color did I use for the, is it this one? For the lake, the water? And if you don't have access to any Chalk Couture products, you could always get with me and I can either hook you up or I could make them for you. Those little DIY paint kits. gosh, you can't see what I'm doing. Sorry. They're better. I'll be honest. These are better on paper, but it still works. Alcohol markers have gotten so inexpensive. They used to be like ungodly, horribly priced. They were, yeah, very expensive. So they do blend better on paper than they do on wood, but get in here to some of these white areas. Oop, I think that's supposed to be his arm. I just painted blue. Okay. Okay, so let's get a brown out. And we'll do his arm where I just painted it blue. And then there's some spots over here. I'm just kind of going on the outside of the sticks just to give it a little bit more brown. They're mostly filled in, but make them look a little more brown. I think that's about it. And I don't know what to do over here because I don't really know what that is, so I think we're just going to leave it at that. Jason says, wasn't it Copic that started the alcohol marker deal? Yeah, and they were at the minimum, they were $8 a piece. And that's how much I paid for this. See, it says $7.99. So I got 24 markers for what it costs now. In fact, let's see what one would cost. And this was back a long time ago. So let's just see. I don't even know if they sell them anymore. Copic. Yeah, they don't even sell them. Yeah, they're expensive. Anita says she's thinking these could be very dangerous for me, loving what you're doing. Well, we need to try them on paper. That's where they really shine. I need a white to kind of blend in all that gray. The other marker you could try is, I was telling you about the Sharpie markers. So these are not just sharp. These are like more like paint pens than they are Sharpies. I think I got these at Walmart. And they have one bullet tip, and some of them have other tips. You can get brush tips, you can get fine point tips, but these are the bullet tip. I was gonna pull the white out. Hopefully I don't run my white marker. Let's see if I can. Nope. Oh, I don't like that. I'll go back in with a little bit of gray, but it did tone down all that gray. Actually, I need a lot of practice. An artist I am not. I just play one on TV. Just something fun to play with. I think I'll go back in with some gray after that dries. But this is another option. I'm just going to take them out of this chintzy packaging. Recycle that. Let's see how many colors we can put on here. Kind of gives it that there's a I don't know what I'm trying to think of. There's an art form that looks kind of like this. Also, it's given me 1970s black velvet poster vibes. But I think he's cute. Okie doke. Don't forget to check out the Black Friday deals that I posted earlier. I have them, or that I highlighted earlier. I posted them on my Facebook page this morning. A lot of those will be while supplies last. I have a feeling that the $10 doorbuster with the snowman wood cutout, it's going to go fast, I would imagine. I don't think it'll last through the week. But here is the original Club Couture project that we did. Here is the one we did tonight. And I don't have, I was trying to find the pedestal for it, but I don't know where. It has a base that it goes on, but in true Robin fashion, I'm not quite for sure where that is at the moment. I've been a busy girl, so I don't know where things are anymore. I will not be live Wednesday because I will be on the road. I actually probably will not. I will not be live probably for the rest of the week. Although I'll try to go live Sunday because I also will not be going live next Monday because that's somebody's birthday, not mine. And then we'll see how the rest of the week goes. But I'll definitely try for Sunday. I kind of like it. I think he turned out cute. It's definitely a fun way to experiment. I think I need to color this little part in, needs to be green. I think that's more trees. But it's hard to follow when you're, oh, I bet some of that was supposed to be snow. So I think this part right here is supposed to be snow, and then this is the water. I'm not going to do a birthday live, especially when it's not my birthday. Okay, doke, so I'm going to hop off. I will see you all this weekend. Have a great Thanksgiving. Eat lots of yummy food. If you're like me, you're going to be breaking out your fat pants. So with that, have a great rest of your week. Thanks for hanging out with me this evening, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.